What if I told you that some of the rarest Harley-Davidsons from the mid-20th century are still out there today? Machines that carry not just steel and chrome, but living pieces of American motorcycle history. From panheads and flatheads to the unforgettable Duo Glide, these aren't just bikes, they're rolling time machines.
Today, we're looking at 10 incredible classics that showcase the golden age of Harley-Davidson.
Number 1. 1958 Harley-Davidson Panhead FLH. This 1958 Panhead represents the final years before Harley introduced major updates in the early 60s. It's an older restoration, but still carries authenticity. Factory VIN, matching belly numbers, correct transmission and frame, and original tins. The seller notes it starts on the first kick and runs smoothly, which is no small thing for a panhead of this era. For collectors, the 58 FLH stands out as one of the most balanced designs of its time. Equal parts reliability, mechanical artistry, and pure presence on the road. Number 2. 1942 Harley-Davidson Flathead. This bike is a fascinating blend of wartime heritage and post-war design. Though listed as a 1950 WL45, it carries a standard-bore 1942 WLA engine, the same type used extensively during World War II. What makes it special is the originality. Frame, forks, wheels, brakes, tanks, fenders, trim, emblems, and even the dash base remain intact. The wiring has been updated for reliability, but the soul of the bike is pure vintage Harley. Flatheads like this are admired for their durability and simple mechanics, making them an enduring symbol of Harley's resilience through wartime America.
Three, 1973 Harley-Davidson Shovelhead. Moving into the Shovelhead era, here's a 1973 Harley that captures the spirit of the early 70s. Offered in fair condition, this bike comes with a Batwing fairing and windshield, making it a versatile platform for both restoration and riding. The early 70s were a defining time for Harley, balancing traditional big twin power with the styling cues that would later dominate the custom scene. At $4,400, this Shovelhead represents a more approachable entry point into classic Harley ownership, especially for those who appreciate the raw, unfiltered feel of the AMF years.
Number 4. 1952 Harley-Davidson Panhead. This 1952 Panhead carried forward Harley's post-war momentum with steady refinements. This particular example runs strong and even comes with extras, fringed leather saddlebags, an additional seat, and extra top-end components. The Panhead design of this era had earned a reputation for being both rugged and stylish, with the big twin motor capable of cruising America's highways at a time when long-distance riding was just becoming part of the culture. Collectors value these bikes not just for their looks, but for their ability to keep running reliably more than 70 years after they rolled out of Milwaukee. Number 5. 1960 Harley-Davidson Duo Glide. Closing out the first half, here's a 1960 Duo Glide, a bike that revolutionized Harley touring. This example shows 22,000 miles and wears a rare green and white color scheme, still 99% original. The Duo Glide was Harley's first big twin with full rear suspension, making long rides far more comfortable compared to the rigid frame panheads before it. The model represented a turning point, marrying classic Harley styling with modern comfort. Today, surviving examples like this are prized for both their historical importance and their rideability.
Number 6. 1961 Harley-Davidson Survey Car Trike. The Survey Car holds a unique place in Harley-Davidson history. Built for utility, police departments, and small businesses, it became an everyday workhorse across America. This 1961 example carries a 45 cubic inch motor, a 3-speed transmission with reverse, and matching belly numbers. The seller notes it runs and shifts great, and unlike many Survey cars that were beaten down by decades of hard use, this one remains in solid shape. Today, these trikes are celebrated not just for their quirky design, but for the role they played in keeping Harley-Davidson connected to ordinary American life. Number 7. 1945 Harley-Davidson Flathead. Stepping back to the final year of World War II, this 1945 Flathead is more than just an antique, it's a piece of living history. Set up for vintage racing, it carries a 45 cubic inch engine, a 3-speed with jockey shift, and a matching belly numbers. The seller notes it runs and shifts great, and unlike many Survey cars that were beaten down by decades of hard use, this one remains in solid shape. Today, these trikes are celebrated not just for their quirky design, but for the role they played in keeping Harley-Davidson connected to ordinary American life. Number 8. 1947 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead EL. Here's a crown jewel of Harley-Davidson history, the 1947 EL Knucklehead. This bike has been beautifully restored and shows just 500 miles since its rebuild, essentially fresh out of the workshop. Knuckleheads are among the most coveted Harleys ever made, produced in limited numbers from 1936 to 1947. They're admired for their revolutionary overhead valve design, elegant lines, and the cultural legacy they inspired. For many collectors, the Knucklehead is the ultimate American classic, and this restored example is a textbook showcase of why the model is so revered. Number 8. 1978 Harley-Davidson Shovelhead FLH 75th Anniversary. This 1978 Shovelhead FLH was released as part of Harley-Davidson's 75th anniversary lineup, making it historically significant in its own right. Wearing its original paint and showing 30,000 miles, it's a true survivor of the AMF era. While the bike has been sitting and will need mechanical attention, the bones are all there. For enthusiasts of the Shovelhead generation, this represents both a piece of Harley's corporate history and a potential restoration project with plenty of upside. Anniversary models always carry a special appeal, and this one is no exception. Number 10. 1980 Harley-Davidson FXWG Wide Glide. Rounding out the list is a milestone model, the 1980 FXWG, the very first year of the Wide Glide. This example has been upgraded with practical mods, a fresh SNS carb, electronic ignition, Andrews cam, belt primary drive, and custom flame paint. Despite the upgrades, it still carries the unmistakable Wide Glide silhouette that became an icon of Harley's custom-inspired factory designs. For riders who want a dependable classic with a touch of modern reliability, this FXWG shows how Harley transitioned from vintage styling into the bold look of the 1980s. From panheads and flatheads to knuckleheads and shovelheads, these motorcycles are more than just machines. They're chapters in the story of American motorcycling. Each one represents not just engineering, but the culture, the riders, and the eras that shaped them.
Which of these classics stood out to you the most? Was it the workhorse Cervi-Car, the legendary Knucklehead, or maybe the Wide Glide that marked a new generation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Harley-Davidson's timeless icons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time as we continue exploring the world of classic motorcycles.